Hey everyone, it's Jamie and welcome to Wellness Wednesday. And today I'm going to get on my soapbox about organic food. So I just want to tell you briefly that I learned about the importance of eating organic and what was in our food chain many years ago when my daughter, who's 26, was like, 3, all right? And I used to drive, there was no Trader Joe's, there was no organic food section anywhere. And I would drive from Deerfield to Palatine to get organic milk and organic cheese and a lot of organic food for my daughters because I didn't want them exposed to the hormones and the pesticides and all the stuff that's in the food chain. And so a lot of times people will say, oh, isn't it so expensive to buy organic food? And my answer was always, isn't it expensive to be sick? Isn't it expensive to not feel good? Like when you're feeling your very best and you have lots of energy and you don't have illness and you're not taking medicine and you don't have an autoimmune disease and you're not struggling with, how to get through the day, what's that worth to you? So I'm just going to share some of the facts because I'm super, super passionate about this. I've known about this and been learning about this for 23 years. Sorry about that. For 23 years. So I'm just going to share some of the facts, okay? First of all, fact number 1. In Europe, they've banned 1,400 chemicals from the food chain, from the skincare, from the body care products. Guess how many we've banned in the United States? 8, okay? So you're looking at it's a free-for-all here, okay? The most important thing for most of our food distribution is yield. How much, how big, how fast, how many. So, for example, many years ago, it used to take 3 to 4 months to take a chicken to market, and now they can do it in 6 weeks. Why? The chicken's pumped full of hormones and antibiotics. And then we eat that, and then think what's happening in our body. So I'm just going to read some of the facts. Eating organic food helps reduce your body's total toxic burden. Pesticides and herbicides are by their very nature toxic, and a diet that's chronically exposed to that exposes you to these poisons, all right? And if you think about it, like the crops are being sprayed with bug spray. And then we're eating that, all right? No wonder people don't feel well. No wonder people have weight around their middle that they can't get rid of. No wonder people have autoimmune diseases. It's so unhealthy for us. Do you know, I think it's the corn plants, so don't quote me, it's one of them, that the butterflies, when they land on them, they die because there's so many chemicals. And so imagine that we're eating that, and imagine what's happening inside of our bodies. So let me just share a little bit more about especially the meat, okay? Why is this so important, especially for women? Like, if you think about it, why do 10-year-old little girls have boobs, okay? They're eating food and meats and they're consuming hormones and all kinds of toxic stuff that's terrible for them. And so when you look at, and now you look at like women my age and women in menopause, and we're susceptible to all these things. And so what happens is non-organic meat are products harvested from animals that have been raised in industrial farms and large-scale feedlots. Unlike pasture-raised organic food, non-organic meats have been maintained on a high-grain diet, and are routinely administered with synthetic growth hormones and antibiotics prior to slaughter. Okay, so it's way cheaper, all right, but it's very harmful. Why is it harmful? Well, these meats have high saturated fat content, and that results in the bad cholesterol, which jumps, and it can cause the risk of heart disease. It can cause the likelihood of developing diabetes. Non-organic meats also have unhealthy omega-6s and fatty acids, and your body can't synthesize them, okay? And so really what happens when your body takes in stuff that it can't use as food or fuel? It makes a layer of fat around your middle, and it sticks the toxins inside your fat. It's like, Your oil, not changing the oil in your car. Like you can kill the car, the engine block, it dies, you have no car. What happens if you don't clean the dryer vent? What happens if the bathtub gets clogged? So, all these toxins build up in our body. They're so unhealthy for us. Think about it. We become antibiotic resistant. We are taking in all these hormones that we don't need, and it's unhealthy for us. And it's also non-organic meat. Interestingly enough, I didn't know this. Hi, Sandy, honey. Non-organic meat are also more prone to contamination, particularly E. coli. Plus, they're feeding the animals corn, and corn is the most genetically modified crop we have. Okay, GMOs, it's synthetic. Our body doesn't know what to do with it. We can't process it, and it acts as a toxin, and then we're eating it, and because the animals ate it, and then it's contaminating the soil and the ground and the earth, and it's just like so not good for us. Okay, so it can make us sick. So feeding cattle with these grains instead of grass results in unhealthy animals, and then we're eating them. I heard a story, don't quote me, you probably have to Google it, that there was a giant spill on the highway in California, and it was like all these M&Ms, all right, like yellow, blue, green M&Ms, and it was on its way to the feedlots. They were giving the cattle M&M, who knows what they're feeding the non-organic meat? I don't want any part of it. It's just unhealthy for us, and we need to stay away from it. It's just crops are strawberries and grapes. Also, I was reading the number one most heavily sprayed vegetable is green beans in the United States, green beans. So it's we just have to take control of our health. And, I love it. What one of my favorite clients said, she's like, Jamie, this is so much more than about losing weight for me. This is about living a long, healthy life. I want to be the grandma on the ski slopes with my kids. And that resonated so much for me. I have 4 children, and I want to live a long, healthy life. And I want my clients and my friends to live long, healthy lives. And the best way for us to take control of our health is to read the labels and eat organic and choose organic fruits, choose organic vegetables, choose organic meats. Stay away from that other stuff. No, I'm not a lunatic about it. I go out to eat, and I eat in restaurants where it's non-organic, and I just deal with it. But for the majority of the time, I'm really aware of what I'm putting in my body, because the truth is you only have one, and you need it more than it needs you, and you got to take care of it. Your food can be the best form of medicine, or your food can be making you sick. It can make you moody, it can make you crabby, it can make you sluggish, it can give you diseases. So you really need to think about how can you take the best care of you. And my advice is to start reading labels and to get rid of the pesticides and the herbicides and the hormones that are in our diet, because it is so much better. Organic foods have a higher nutritional value than conventional food. And the absence of pesticides and fertilizers boosts the production of phytochemicals, vitamins, and antioxidants that strengthen our immune system, all right? All that stuff, those chemicals and those pesticides, it's poisoning our water. It's just unhealthy for us. And, people used to make fun of me 20-something years ago. They'd be like, ooh, hide the junk food. Here comes Jamie. But you know what? I'm healthy, all right? And I don't wish unhealth on anyone. I just want you all to know, even if you start to take back control of your health just by eating organic meats, you're ahead of the curve. So my hope on this Wellness Wednesday is that you start reading labels, you start paying attention, to organic food. I buy a lot of stuff at Trader Joe's. It's not expensive. You don't have to break the bank on it, or as they say, go to Whole Paycheck, all right? Although I love Whole Foods. So there's ways around it, and I just want you all to be as healthy as possible and feel as great as possible, so you too can live a long, healthy life. And that's what I have to say. I'm off my soapbox. Happy Wellness Wednesday. Go eat organic. I love you all. Peace out. Mwah!